What happens when the relentless pursuit of control and perfection paradoxically leads us to the abyss of frustration and disillusionment? Reflecting on Dostoevsky's words invites us to delve into a territory where the intensity of effort transforms into a force that opposes the fulfillment of our desires, a space where excessive struggle against the natural flow of life ultimately plunges us into perpetual restlessness. Dostoevsky's voice resonates in the idea that an excess of will, rather than opening the doors to success, erects insurmountable barriers that distance us from the very essence of our existence. This thought reveals an unsettling paradox. The harder we strive to obtain something, the further we drift from what we truly seek. The key lies in recognizing that life's processes, in all their complexity and beauty, cannot be forced without corrupting the spontaneity and authenticity that nourish them. Thus, in attempting to grasp the future with the rigidity of excessive planning, we fall into the trap of turning every step into a battle against our own nature. Within every human being lies a symphony of emotions, impulses, and dreams that, when allowed to flow freely, reveal the true harmony of the self. However, the excessive urge to direct every note and control every beat ultimately generates a cacophony of tension and anxiety that clouds the original melody. It is in this contrast that we find the depth of Dostoevsky's thought. Excessive effort is like a hand that, in its zeal to sculpt perfection, ends up shaping a distorted figure, straying from the inherent truth of our nature. Life often presents itself as a stage where the desire to tame chaos clashes with the inevitable reality of fate. In this confrontation, excessive effort acts like an unyielding hammer that, instead of chiseling a masterpiece, gradually erodes the soft, delicate contours of our existence. We become obsessed with control, striving to transform every uncertainty into certainty, every doubt into an unshakable conviction, without realizing that it is precisely uncertainty that opens the doors to the unexpected, the genuine, and the transformative. The fervor to achieve goals and overcome obstacles, when it turns into an obsession, results in a vicious cycle of frustration. Every time we try to force an outcome, we find ourselves entangled in a web of expectations and fears. Anxiety sets in, weaving a net that prevents us from enjoying the process and appreciating the small victories that would otherwise enrich our experience. It is in this state of perpetual tension that the soul suffers, and creativity is stifled under the weight of an unattainable ideal. The paradox, then, is that by trying too hard, we move further away from true fulfillment, the kind that arises from serenity and the acceptance that some things must unfold organically without the forced intervention of will. The path of self-knowledge teaches us that authenticity is not achieved through the imposition of rigid order but through the sincere exploration of our inner world. When we set aside the overwhelming need to control every aspect of our lives, we create space for the discovery of nuances and emotions that would otherwise remain hidden. It is in this state of openness and vulnerability that true freedom takes root, the kind that allows us to embrace uncertainty and accept that, at times, what appears to be failure is simply an opportunity in disguise, a necessary step in the journey toward a deeper understanding of ourselves. The power of the unforced manifests in the ability to surrender to the natural flow of events, in the skill of recognizing that life, with its unpredictable turns, offers us valuable lessons at every bend in the road. The obsession with achieving concrete results deprives us of the possibility of enjoying the mystery of the process, of immersing ourselves in the experience without the shackles of expectation. Thus, serenity emerges when we learn to trust in the unfolding of life, to allow it to develop in its own time, and to value each moment as an unrepeatable manifestation of existence. This idea, which at first glance may seem discouraging, is actually an invitation to rediscover the value of letting things be. Inner strength is not found in the constant struggle to impose our will but in the ability to flow, to adapt, and to find in silence the answers to our deepest questions. By freeing ourselves from the weight of compulsion, we make way for a way of being that is nourished by intuition and empathy, two fundamental pillars for achieving true balance. Authenticity flourishes when we accept that life cannot be controlled but simply lived, with its highs and lows, its fleeting joys, and its moments of deep melancholy. In the vast tapestry of existence, each experience becomes a thread that, interwoven with others, forms a fabric rich in meaning and lessons. The tension generated by excessive effort is precisely the counterpoint that, once dissolved, allows the light of wisdom to emerge. The relentless pursuit of an ideal of perfection blinds us to the beauty of imperfection, the very imperfection that defines us and makes us human. The struggle to control the uncontrollable reveals itself as a trap that keeps us from discovering the true essence of life, the one hidden in subtle details and quiet moments that invite reflection. Every word spoken aloud, every emotion that surfaces from deep within, becomes a testament to the internal conflict between the urge to dominate and the need to let go. The poetry of the everyday is revealed in the contrast between excessive effort and full acceptance of who we are, a duality that challenges us to find balance amid the chaos. It is in this intersection that the true meaning of existence resides, at the point of convergence between action and inaction, between seeking and surrendering. The path Dostoevsky traces is not one of passive resignation but of a profound understanding of human complexity. Life offers us the opportunity to learn how to let go, to trust that what is meant for us will come in due time without the need to force its arrival. This attitude does not imply indifference but rather a form of self-love and respect, recognizing that every experience, no matter how painful or challenging, brings with it an invaluable lesson. Wisdom lies in understanding that the value of life is not measured by the accumulation of efforts, but by the authenticity with which we embrace each moment. The narrative of existence is composed of moments of tension and calm, of episodes in which the impulse to fight against the current clashes with the desire to surrender to it. This dichotomy is reflected in the inner struggle that each person faces when striving to achieve their goals. Excessive effort, when imposed as the sole path to success, becomes an insurmountable obstacle that prevents the manifestation of what is truly valuable. By forcing the course of events, we risk losing ourselves, forgetting that the essence of life lies in the ability to adapt, to reinvent ourselves, and to find in spontaneity the driving force of our existence. One of the most profound lessons drawn from this reflection is the importance of cultivating patience and humility. The greatness of a person is not measured in material achievements or undeniable victories, but in the ability to embrace uncertainty and find, in imperfection, the opportunity for growth. Patience stands as an essential virtue on the path to authenticity, allowing time to do its work, gradually revealing the secrets of life. Humility, in turn, invites us to recognize our limitations and understand that the effort to control every aspect of existence can be counterproductive. Experience teaches us that sometimes it is necessary to take a step back in order to move forward with greater strength. This retreat is not a sign of weakness but of wisdom, as it allows us to analyze our motivations and readjust our purposes. By easing the intensity of our efforts, we open ourselves to the possibility of finding answers in unexpected places, of discovering that the road to success is paved with moments of stillness and reflection. The greatness of existence lies in the ability to listen, to let life express itself in its purest form, and to accept that true power resides in the capacity to surrender to what cannot be controlled. The internal dialogue that arises when we understand the irony of forcing the unattainable invites us to rediscover the beauty of simplicity. In the silence that follows the agitation of the mind, an immutable truth is revealed. Authenticity and spontaneity are the keys that unlock the doors to a fulfilling existence. This inner awakening is not reached through the imposition of an inflexible will but through the acceptance that, sometimes, the best path is the one where we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, where we embrace uncertainty, and where we trust that each experience has its own rhythm and reason for being. The metaphor of the river that flows without stopping perfectly illustrates this idea. A river, without rushing toward its destination, follows its course, adapting to the curves of the terrain, patiently sculpting rock, and creating landscapes that, in their subtlety, contain an infinite grandeur. Likewise, life unfolds in a constant flow, where every turn and every bend reveal new opportunities for learning. When we try to hasten this process, when we insist on diverting the river's natural course, we risk obstructing its vital force and losing the essence that makes it unique. This reflection is not an invitation to inaction but a call to the wisdom of knowing when to act and when to let go. The key lies in finding a balance between the drive to transform reality and the ability to accept that, at times, the best we can do is trust in the unfolding of life. It is in that middle ground where true harmony emerges, where energy is channeled organically, and where effort becomes a subtle dance with destiny. Serenity does not arise from the absence of action but from a deep understanding that every step, no matter how small, has its place in the intricate fabric of time. The journey toward personal fulfillment, framed within Dostoevsky's vision, reveals itself as a path full of contrasts and paradoxes. The struggle against adversity, when it turns into excessive effort, can become an obstacle that distances us from inner satisfaction. The obsession with achieving predetermined goals becomes a cage that limits our freedom to explore new possibilities and discover hidden talents. In contrast, by allowing ourselves to flow naturally, we open the door to a universe of opportunities in which every experience, whether a triumph or an apparent failure, becomes part of a rich and nuanced personal narrative. The art of living lies in the balance between determination and acceptance. Determination drives us forward, helping us overcome the barriers in our path, while acceptance teaches us to embrace uncertainty and find beauty in the ephemeral. This duality, far from being contradictory, complements itself in a dance where effort and surrender intertwine to form the symphony of life. Each heartbeat, each sigh released in a moment of introspection, is a note composing the melody of our being, a melody enriched when we learn to let go and trust in the natural flow of things. Deep introspection becomes the beacon that illuminates the path toward a more authentic and fulfilling life. By questioning the relentless need to impose our will on every moment, we open ourselves to the possibility of discovering that true strength lies in the ability to accept our imperfections and recognize that every experience is an opportunity for growth. The path to authenticity is, ultimately, a journey of self-discovery, in which learning to listen to our inner voice becomes the most valuable tool for transcending the limitations imposed by fear and insecurity. In moments of doubt, when the pressure to achieve unattainable goals threatens to plunge us into an abyss of despair, it is crucial to remember that life is a process of constant transformation. Every experience, no matter how painful, offers us the opportunity to learn and reinvent ourselves. Resilience is forged in the ability to rise after every fall, to find within the ruins of shattered dreams the seed of new hope. Thus, personal growth is not about avoiding suffering at all costs but about learning to embrace it, to transform it into a lesson that propels us forward with greater wisdom and compassion. The paradox within Dostoevsky's thought serves as a reminder that life, in all its complexity, cannot be reduced to a series of mechanical actions or a rigid formula for success. Authenticity manifests in the ability to live each moment with intensity, to let the heart set the rhythm, and to allow passion and tenderness to intertwine in a sublime dance. Inner strength is nurtured by the balance between decisive action and serene surrender to the inevitable, between the will to shape the world and the acceptance that some mysteries will always remain beyond our comprehension. Far from being an invitation to abandon our dreams, this reflection urges us to rethink how we face daily challenges. It is about recognizing that true greatness is not achieved through forceful imposition but through the harmonious integration of our aspirations and our deepest essence. Every goal, every objective, becomes an expression of our desire for wholeness, but this longing must be nourished by a profound understanding that the journey toward fulfillment is just as valuable as the final destination. The narrative of existence, with its unexpected twists and episodes of euphoria and despair, unfolds before us like a work of art in constant creation. The pressure to achieve perfection fades in the light of the understanding that every mistake, every misstep, adds a brushstroke that enriches the final canvas. Authenticity is revealed in the ability to accept imperfection as an intrinsic part of being, in the recognition that what truly matters is not the final outcome but the passion with which each stretch of the journey is traveled. In the echo of Dostoevsky's words, we find a call to reflection that goes beyond the mere act of relentless striving. It is an invitation to loosen the reins of an unyielding will and allow life to manifest in all its complexity. By freeing ourselves from the urge to control every variable, we discover that true power lies in the ability to surrender to what cannot be changed, in the ability to find, within the natural flow of circumstances, the key to a more serene and authentic existence. Every lived experience, every emotion felt intensely, stands as a testament to the value of letting things be. Life, in its essence, unfolds at the intersection of struggle and surrender, in the subtle dance between effort and letting go. The inner voice, the one often drowned out by the noise of our obsession with control, becomes the guiding light when we learn to trust in the mystery of becoming. In that trust lies liberation, the realization that the universe orchestrates a symphony in which every note, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, carries profound and transformative meaning. The paradox that, the harder we try, the less we achieve, is not a sentence of defeat but a lesson in the importance of connecting with oneself. It teaches us that authenticity and personal fulfillment emerge when we set aside the compulsion to dominate every situation and, instead, open our hearts to uncertainty. That uncertainty, far from being a threat, becomes the fertile ground where the seeds of creativity, empathy, and true inner strength take root. Every heartbeat of the soul, every breath that escapes in a moment of deep connection with life, serves as a reminder that greatness does not reside in the relentless accumulation of effort but in the ability to be oneself amid the chaos. Wisdom is forged in the art of knowing when to act and when to let circumstances unfold at their own pace. Thus, the paradox embedded in Dostoevsky's reflection transforms into a vital lesson. Life is lived at the intersection of desire and surrender, between the impulse to change the world and the serenity to accept that sometimes, the best we can do is allow destiny to reveal itself in full. The inner journey that leads us to understand this truth is one of discovery, continuous learning, and full acceptance of who we are. In the silence of introspection, doors open that the noise of uncontrolled ambition would have forever kept shut. It is in that sacred space, where the mind quiets and the heart speaks with an honest voice, that we find the strength to renounce the tyranny of excessive effort and embrace a way of living in which each experience is valued for what it is, without the need to turn it into a means to an end. The lesson of letting things be is reflected in every gesture, in every word spoken with conviction, and in every act of surrender that, far from signifying defeat, symbolizes the victory of authenticity over rigidity. The narrative of existence is enriched when we understand that the essential is hidden in the subtlety of details, in the gaze that reflects the soul's complicity with life and in the steady heartbeat that sets the rhythm of a life lived with integrity. At its core, reflecting on excessive effort invites us to rethink our priorities and rediscover the value of what truly matters, a genuine connection with ourselves and the world around us. By letting go of the obsession with achieving flawless results, we learn to appreciate the beauty of each moment, to find in imperfection the mark of an authenticity that, though sometimes painful, is the only path to true growth and evolution. Life, with its ups and downs, becomes a unique dance in which every step, no matter how uncertain, is an opportunity to embrace the fullness of existence. The echo of these reflections resonates within every person who dares to look beyond conventions and question the overwhelming need to control the uncontrollable. The invitation is clear. Let us allow ourselves to be vulnerable, recognize our limitations, and celebrate the beauty of the spontaneous. In that recognition lies the possibility of achieving fulfillment that transcends mere external success, a fulfillment rooted in the wisdom of living authentically and wholeheartedly. With every step we take on life's path, the paradox of excessive effort becomes a constant reminder that true strength is not found in imposing our will but in the ability to adapt, to flow, and to embrace the mystery of becoming. Dostoevsky's lesson, then, stands as a luminous guide, urging us to rethink the meaning of our efforts and discover that in relinquishing forced control, we unlock the key to a deeper and more meaningful existence. At the end of the journey, what remains is the certainty that authenticity and personal fulfillment emerge when we allow things to be, when we free ourselves from the burden of perfection and embrace the richness of life in its purest form. This perspective does not condemn action. Rather, it invites us to find a balance in which every step becomes an act of self-love and connection with the universe. The magic is revealed in the act of letting go, in the ability to hear the whisper of destiny, and in the trust that, in life's natural flow, every experience has its place and significance. Ultimately, the paradox that excessive effort can sabotage us serves as an invitation to rediscover the essence of who we are. It is a call to free ourselves from the tyranny of control and allow life to unfold in all its complexity and beauty. Every moment becomes an opportunity to connect with authenticity, to resonate in harmony with the universe, and to find in the art of letting be the key that opens the doors to a full and truly enriching existence. This reflection, when heard, transforms into a song of spiritual freedom, a melody that urges us to abandon the pursuit of perfection and celebrate the uniqueness of each lived moment. Words, when they flow without restriction, become a bridge that links the heart to the very essence of existence, reminding us that true victory lies in the act of being, in the ability to embrace life in all its nuances, and in the understanding that the greatest achievement is to live with authenticity, free from the oppression of excessive effort. As this journey of ideas comes to an end, it leaves the sensation of having traveled through an inner landscape filled with contrasts and profound lessons. It feels like an invitation to release the chains of control and find, in life's natural flow, an inexhaustible source of inspiration, creativity, and peace. It is, ultimately, a celebration of authenticity, a tribute to the beauty that emerges when we stop resisting the inevitable and embrace, with gratitude, the mystery of the unknown. Every spoken word and every evoked emotion in this reflection resonate as a call to introspection and the rediscovery of our true essence. By letting go of the compulsion to achieve immediate and perfect results, we open ourselves to the possibility of experiencing life in its entirety with all its light and shadow. The lesson lies in understanding that the greatness of existence is found in the subtle balance between effort and surrender, between decisive action and serene acceptance of what is meant to be. Finally, what emerges from this reflection is an invitation to live consciously and fully, to allow every experience, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, to bring its light to the construction of an authentic and meaningful path. The paradox that excessive effort distances us from fulfillment becomes, then, an eternal reminder that true power lies in the ability to trust in the unfolding of life, to be surprised by the unexpected, and to find, in every twist of the road, a new opportunity to be reborn.